Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus, one of my favorite ghost types in the Great League, probably right behind Sableye. And Cofagrigus will be serving as the safe swap on this very powerful team in the Great League. Cofagrigus on the safe swap is quite powerful. It performs very well no matter where you place it on your team. I typically run it as a safe swap because it is a fantastic generalist. It can deal out heavy neutral damage to just about everything in the meta. And it can often flip switch advantage for you, which can prove to be quite valuable. Alongside Defense Form Deoxys, the DD will be in the back on this team. And guys, I've been using this team for a few days now, off camera, and my goodness, it is quite powerful. Quite possibly one of the strongest teams that I've ever built for the Great League. All it seems to do is win, and win some more. I've been having a blast with it over the past few days. And DD in the back can often rack up the wins for you because generally it can beat just about anything on your opponent's team once you get the hard counters out of the way, guys. And that is why Shiftry is on the lead here, guys. Shiftry on the lead can win lead for you in just about any circumstance, minus, of course, the fighters and the charmers. So the idea with this team is if you're met with a bad lead, you safe swap into Cofagrigus, and you want to try and draw out a opposing ghost type or a dark type. That way, you can either flip switch with Cofagrigus or come back in and take it out with Shiftry, and that way Defense Form Deoxys can roam free. I had a blast with this team, and before we get into the featured set of the video, we are going to be having a look at a few bonus battles that I thought were tons of fun, and here we go. Off the lead, in Medicham, we go into Cofagrigus, and they meet us with a Bastiodon. So guys, seeing that they had a Medicham on the lead, switch advantage is kind of important here in this matchup. So we know that Cofagrigus can really dish out the heavy damage with stab, with shadow ball. So we are completely content on playing out the 2-shield scenario if necessary. We cannot have that Medicham anywhere near our Shiftry. So we will shield up every Stone Edge that they throw until they are gone. And they do shield up our Shadow Ball there. Gonna go for another one right off the bat. If they want to go down on shields, by all means, but no, they do not. And that means that, guys, we have essentially flip switch advantage because all we have to do is shield up this Stone Edge. And this Bastiodon will not get to another move before we can farm down Cofagrigus, guys. That's what I mean. On the safe swap, can flip switch advantage like you wouldn't believe. And they come in with a Trevenant, so going to pressure that last shield with a Dark Pulse. Honestly, we should have just gone Shadow Ball because we were not getting to another move. But we accomplished what we wanted nonetheless, guys. We got the alignment we needed. That's why Cofagrigus is amazing, and now we have our Shiftry on the Trevenant. We do have to be careful of a potential catch. This Trevenant is just going straight Seed Bomb. I don't know if that's the right play, but hey, we got to watch out for that. Yeah, there we go, guys. I tell you guys time and time again on this channel, if you know that the switch timer is up, you have to be anticipating the catch, the combo play, or the snipe. That's what they tried to do. They tried to snipe us with Medicham, but we were not going to let that happen, guys. We've got our Defense Form Deoxys on this Medicham, and Defense Form Deoxys does beat Medicham. Medicham can do nothing to Defense Form Deoxys. All they can really do is go for the neutral Ice Punch if they have it. But Defense Form Deoxys tanks those resisted Psychics like it's nothing, guys. And they go for the Ice Punch here. We knew that we could tank it. We knew that they were not going to get to another Psychic. So we look to get rid of them with a Psycho Boost. And we know that we have stored energy on our Shiftry. And we go for the combo play. We go for the foul play, combo play to take out the Trevenant. Bye-bye, Trevenant. And Shiftry closing the game strong. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. Telling you guys, this team is quite powerful in the Great League. And I always love running Shiftry. Probably one of my favorite grass types to run in the Great League. And here we go. Another awful lead. Going to go into our Cofagrigus. Shiftry loses pretty hard to Talonflame. And they meet us with a Trevenant. So that's the beauty of Cofagrigus, guys. If you're fast enough on the switch, you can get an energy advantage quite fast. And we go for that Shadow Ball. Of course, they shield. Shadow Ball does one-shot Trevenant. We're going to let this go, guys. If it's a Seed Bomb, they're going to have to go down on shields to keep their Trevenant, but they take us out with a Shadow Ball, so that is quite all right, guys. Our play here is to farm this Trevenant all the way down. We shield once and we farm down. We have to shield because even a resisted Shadow Ball does quite a bit to our Shiftry, and we are going to farm this Trevenant all the way down with Snarl. That is an insane farm down, but that is what we needed, guys. The thing with Talonflame is you got to put on heavy charge move pressure to really threaten it, guys. They do tank the first foul play because they can, but what they cannot do is tank a second foul play, especially coming from Shiftry, and we do grab that last shield, so we are going into defense form Deoxys. We successfully grabbed a shield advantage, and we're going to let this go. Even if it's a Brave Bird, we know Deoxys can tank the damage like you wouldn't believe. And they've got a defense form Deoxys of their own, excuse me. So we're just going to go for the Thunderbolt. And things are looking pretty, it's getting a little sketchy here, guys. They've got a counter user and a fire type on their team. Seemingly nowhere to go for our Shiftry. They do take us out with a Thunderbolt, so we've got to play this carefully, guys. We're getting low. Those super effective counters are really hurting our Shiftry here. So what we're going to do is we know that this defense form Deoxys is relatively energy dry. Going to gain as much energy as we can before they get to another move. Going to take it out with a Leaf Blade, and we know that Talonflame has a 5-turn move. We have a 3-turn move. It takes 1 turn to hit your charge move. That's 4 turns. Their Incinerate does not register before we can take them out with a foul play. That is how you play Shiftry, guys. Holy smokes. We were up against it in that one, and Shiftry came in clutch in the end, which is why it is one of my favorite grass types in the Great League. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Telling you guys, Shiftry is often slept on in the Great League, and I think it's time that it gets a little more respect in the Great League. And here we go. Altaria lead. Not the greatest lead in the world, so the way I like to play Altaria is I will look to chip and dip. So we want to get off a foul play, really chip away at the health, and then we're going to go into Cofagrigus and see what they want to do. They'll usually stay in a little bit because they know that they're bulky, and they try to get off a charge move, and that's okay. We're going to tank this. We want to stay relatively even on shields, and we're going to go for the Shadow Ball. This is going to put a lot of pressure on this Altaria, and they do shield. That is amazing. And they make a play into a Ferrothorn. Well, guys, this team is starting to look awfully familiar. So far, it's looking like a team that I ran earlier this week, my Ferrothorn team. We'll have to see if that is the team that I created and ran. They do take us out with a Power Whip, so we're coming in with Defense Form Deoxys, guys. We're making a hard read. I'm thinking that our opponent might have caught our Ferrothorn video earlier this week, and for those of you who are unfamiliar, there is most likely a Registeel in the back. So we come in with our Defense Form Deoxys to counter it down. And we're going to see, hey, there it is, Registeel. Somebody watched my Ferrothorn video earlier this week. This is a team that I created and featured. A very powerful team. I might add, guys. But the beauty of going up against a team that you created is you know how to beat it, guys. So we're going to shield up the Zap Cannon and make an aggressive play back into Shiftry to draw out that Altaria because we wanted to clear that debuff on our defense form Deoxys. And we're going to bait here with a Leaf Blade, and they didn't like that, guys. Shielding up a double resisted Leaf Blade. I think they said, I had enough. And they concede the match. How awesome is that? It was fun going up against my team. But like I said, guys, if you're going up against a team that you created, you know how to beat it, and we did. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Had to start things off with some fun bonus battles as we move into the featured set of the video. And here we go, picking up a very positive lead in Swampert. They make an aggressive play in the Nidoqueen, so we go into Cofagrigus. We, of course, are resisting this fast move pressure, and we are going to look to shield up a potential Earth Power, just because we don't want to compromise our health too early on in this matchup here. So we're just going to build up and see what they want to do. They go for the Poison Fang. We will gladly let this go through. Of course, that is resisted, and even with the debuff, the resisted fast move pressure is not enough to truly threaten Cofagrigus here. Gonna go for a Shadow Ball here and see what they want to do. They want to let it go. That is amazing. So our overfarm will prove to be fruitful because it is not likely that the Swampert lets the Shadow Ball go through. They do shield. That is amazing. So we are now even on shields. We successfully flip switch advantage with Cofagrigus. That is why I love Cofagrigus in the Great League on the safe swap. It is quite powerful, and they do take us out with a Hydro Cannon. We go in with Shiftry, and they meet us with a Skarmory. Surprise, surprise! I would have never guessed that there was a Skarmory in the back behind Swampert. My goodness. So we come in with Defense Form Deoxys. We do have a solid victory over Skarmory in even shielding scenarios. We did tank the first Sky Attack because we can. We are quite bulky, I might say. And they do, of course, shield up our Thunderbolt. We're going to no-shield this because we know that we live another Sky Attack, and we know that we are close enough to another Thunderbolt to take out the Skarmory without having to go down on shields. And our Shiftry, we know, is just one Snarl off from a Leaf Blade that will absolutely KO Swampert. One Leaf Blade from Shiftry, I think, would KO an entire generation of Swamperts, as we say bye-bye Swampert, and Shiftry coming in clutch yet again, closing another game in dominant fashion. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. Guys, I was not kidding when I said that all this team does is win in the Great League. I have been having a blast with this team over the past few days, and here we go, picking up a very tricky lead in Defense Form Deoxys. What we're going to do is look to go for a foul play. We want to kind of entice them to tank this super effective damage by staying in a little bit, and they do tank that. That is insane. As we make an aggressive play into Cofagrigus. Shiftry put in a lot of work in the little bit of time that it was on the field up against that DD. That was amazing. As we look to play out this mid-game matchup, they do tank our Shadow Ball because Meganium is quite bulky. One of the bulkier grass types that you will find in the Great League. That can also be quite effective as well. Of course, with the Community Day of Frenzy Plant. Gonna look to get rid of this Meganium. If they want to expend a shield in this mid-game matchup, by all means, but no, they let it go. Guys, Cofagrigus flipping switch advantage yet again. Again, this is why I love Cofagrigus on the safe swap. They come back in with the low health Defense Form Deoxys, expecting this to be a Psycho Boost, and that is fine. By all means, yes, sharply lower your attack as they make an aggressive play in the Talonflame, so things are getting a little tricky here, guys. Getting very interesting here. My goodness, we are still even on shields. Gonna let this go, and it's the Brave Bird. Holy smokes. So they're clearly taking advantage of the fact that they do have two shields, and they could easily shield up whatever we throw at them and still remain relatively healthy, but that is fine. We will gladly grab those shields because we know that Shiftry with a shield advantage is absolutely lethal in the Great League. which is why it is one of the best grass types you could possibly run. Gonna absolutely shield up whatever this is. It is a boosted flame charge, and gonna look to just farm up some energy, guys. We're getting pretty low. That defense form Deoxys is also very low. We're gonna go for these leaf blades back to back, guys. We can't tank another super effective counter. That could spell out disaster. So we're getting rid of the Deoxys, and we snarl down the Talonflame. Shiftry, letting them know, guys. My goodness, it's often slept on, but it is quite powerful. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Okay, guys, Shiftry was really putting in the work with this team. It was quite nice to see. And here we go. We've got a Stunfisk lead. So Stunfisk just goes straight Rock Slide in this matchup. So what we're going to look to do yet again is chip and dip. We're going to get off some heavy damage with our Shiftry and then make an aggressive play into our Cofagrigus as we catch the Rock Slide. Making the plays in the Great League. We want to preserve a shield advantage because Stunfisk often comes paired with Azumarill and generally Trevenant. And here we go. The Azumarill right on cue. Cofagrigus can do very well up against Azumarill, particularly in even shield scenarios. What we're going to do is actually look to play out the one shield and see what this Azumarill wants to do. We do shield up the Ice Beam. They did build up to a potential play rough, but that is quite all right. Going to go for another Shadow Ball. I would imagine they want to maybe hold on to this Azumarill, so they do shield. And we actually changed our minds. We were going to do the one shield, but I was making a hard team read, guys, that there was a Trevenant in the back. And I know that Shiftry can perform very well with no shields up against a Trevenant. So we're making a team read, going down on shields. They come back in with the Stunfisk. My thought process was, if I can align the defense form Deoxys onto Stunfisk and align Shiftry onto the potential Trevenant in the back, we would be looking good. But guys, no! There was not a Trevenant in the back. They had a Nidoqueen. That makes things a little different, guys. Shiftry cannot do anything to Nidoqueen when it doesn't have shields, and that's going to spell out disaster. Sometimes you're off on your team reads, and that is okay. So yeah, this Nidoqueen's going to gobble us up. We're going to go for the Leaf Blade. We did grab a shield with the threat of a fully powered Psycho Boost. And a Poison Fang, even non-debuffed, does a lot of damage to Shiftry, and they're going to farm us down. And things aren't looking good because this Nidoqueen's going to most likely debuff us, and at this health range, we could tank an Earthquake, but not with a debuff. So things are looking pretty awful, and we get the massive lag spike at the end of the game, and that got us tilted, so we top lefted. It's so odd how we get those massive lag spikes in key moments of the game. I don't know what was going on there, but it was enough to get me pretty tilted. But a good game, well played nonetheless. You guys ever notice how the game lags in the end game in a lot of your battles during the key moments of the battle? It's very strange how that happens, but here we go. Nidoqueen lead, not a good lead, gonna go into Cofagrigus, and they meet us with a defense form Deoxys. That is not an answer to Cofagrigus, but we will play on nonetheless. Gonna go for the Dark Pulse because we know that it doesn't do as much damage. And we know that this defense form Deoxys poses little threat to us, so we wanted to put it into a nice farm down range. We can tank these Psycho Boosts, no problem. They're just going to go straight rock Psycho Boost in this matchup, which allows us to get a very, very healthy farm off of this Deoxys. And expecting them to come back in with the Nidoqueen, but they've got a Vigoroth in the back. So this is why I love running Dark Pulse, guys. I don't like Psychic. I prefer Dark Pulse for these types of matchups where you're up against a Pokemon that can be quite spammy. Dark Pulse allows you to get to your charge move that much faster, and it still deals plenty of neutral damage in most cases. But we're going to let this body slam go through, and we're going to go farming, guys, with Defense Form Deoxys. We're putting on our farming boots, and we are going down to Funky Town with the farm down. And going to tank all these body slams, no problem. We're farming this thing all the way down. We want to have back-to-back Psycho Boosts to really threaten that Nidoqueen left in the back as they make an aggressive play back into the Nidoqueen. We have nearly back-to-back, so we're going to go for the first one, expecting the shield. That would do a lot of super effective damage to Nidoqueen. And we're going to tank the Poison Fang because we know that we will live it long enough to get to this second Psycho Boost. Of course, it's not going to be doing nearly as much damage as the first one, but it does enough, guys. This Nidoqueen is essentially within Leaf Blade range. So we preserved both of our shields. Gonna shield up the Poison Fang. That does a lot of damage to Shiftry. And we're going to overfarm by 1. We don't want to take too much more super effective damage from these poison jabs after being debuffed. So we're going to say bye-bye, Nidoqueen. And we are close enough to where we will live long enough to take out the Vigoroth. Yeah, Shiftry yet again, closing yet another endgame in dominant fashion, guys. This is why Shiftry is one of the best grass types you can run in the Great League. Probably my favorite grass type for that reason. That's going to be a good game. Well played. You guys beginning to see a trend with this team? It works beautifully. All the moving parts complement each other beautifully, guys. And speaking of trends with this team, we met with an awful lead in Walrein. So we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to chip and dip. We're going to chip the health on this Walrein with a lot of super effective damage because they usually don't shield. And we're going to dip into our Safe Swap Cofagrigus. That is how you play Shiftry on the league, guys, because it hits so hard. And a lot of battlers have a lot of confidence in their very bulky Pokemon like Walrein, like Defense Form Deoxys. So they usually tank super effective damage. Not advisable, I would say, as they make a play into a Trevenant here. So we're going to take advantage of this Trevenant, guys. We're going to shield up whatever this is. It is a Seed Bomb. That is all they need. And I love making Trevenants choose. I love making them make a choice, a very difficult choice. Lose your Trevenant or lose your shield. You choose. They choose to lose their shields, and that is quite all right. That is what Cofagrigus is here for. It is here to either flip switch advantage or give you a shield advantage. That's why I love Cofagrigus. And we're going to tank the Shadow Ball. Knowing that they have a Walrein, we can tank a Shadow Ball. It does a lot of resisted damage, but we can tank it nonetheless. And just going to get rid of the Trevenant with a resisted Leaf Blade. That is all we need. We know that that Walrein is low on health, so we snipe it with a super effective counter. And they've got a Medicham in the back. It's lights out for them, guys. Defense Form Deoxys up a shield was going to have its way with that Medicham. There was not a whole lot Medicham could have done in that matchup, so they concede the match. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent, and that is the team, my friends. You see the power of this team in the Great League. I'm telling you guys, I've been winning nonstop with this team, and I've been having loads of fun while doing it. Very, very fun team, but very strong team, guys. This is a team that you can climb with. When we get our rankings back, this is a good team to climb with. Not going to lie, guys. This team is amazing. The dynamics of this team really lends itself to having success in the Great League because Shiftry on the lead can grab shields or grab health. And a lot of people run these bulky Pokemon on the lead, like Walrein, Altaria, Defense Form Deoxys. I think the chip and dip strategy is the best way to play Shiftry on the lead if you're met with a bad lead. You chip or chunk that health with Shiftry and make an aggressive play into your Defense Form Deoxys. You can often get ahead by 2 Shadow Claws and having, Cofagrigus. As a Defense Form Deoxys, Cofagrigus, and having that energy advantage is quite valuable on Cofagrigus because that is a Pokemon that relies on charge, move, pressure, guys. and you're able to pressure shields or health, oftentimes grabbing a switch advantage with Cofagrigus. It is quite nice. And once you get the hard counter for Defense Form Deoxys out of the way, you have a good game from then on out. I had a blast with this team. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.